Owning a 3rd gen 4Runner like this one right here has been a super bittersweet experience. And let me tell you why. Okay, so we are about to go over the reasons why owning this is such a bittersweet experience. And it's actually kind of wild, the things that I'm gonna tell you guys. Things that you don't really think about when you think of a car this old. Because, you know, I mean, for me at least, like I've never had a car this old that I've daily driven. But that being said, if you like the type of content I've made or would just like to support me because you already like where this video is going, I would really appreciate that you subscribe. And all right, yeah, let's get into it. The minute you buy a car this old, you know that you're probably gonna run into a lot of issues. You don't get a car that's 20 something years old because you know it's gonna be perfect. You get it because you know there's gonna be some issues, and that'll bring the price down. It's gonna let you afford it more. But the really good thing is that usually they run and you can still drive them. And then it's also kind of fun sometimes to work on them. Now, that has been something that I've had to deal with, and I'm gonna tell you guys all the things that I've had to do to this car to be able to make it a better driving experience. This beautiful little piece of tech I'm holding in my hand right now is what inspired me to make this video. This is a combination switch. This is, you know, what controls your turning indicators, your headlights, your windshield wipers, stuff like that, right? I got in my car the other day, this car, and I was driving it to the park with my dog, and I see smoke coming from the combination switch, and I was super confused. And it's a really weird, complicated thing. If I had left it going like that, it probably would have caught on fire or caused more damage. It may have already caused more damage, and that's one of those weird things that can happen if you get a car this old. And that's just the first of many things that this car has. And so stay tuned for a bunch of other little things that I've had to deal with on this car. Quick little disclaimer though, I know that it seems like I'm trying to make it sound like this is a terrible idea to purchase this car. And I was gonna get to it in the conclusion, but no, I wanna just make it clear that this car is actually a really fun car. It's a really reliable car. And I'm honestly pretty impressed with how good it is for the price that I got it for. Thing is, like, all the electronics work, the engine runs fine, the transmission works. I'm gonna go over a couple little problems with those things too, but for the most part, it gets you from point A to point B reliably. And so I just wanted to get that out there, that this car is not actually like a nightmare. It's got its issues. And the point I'm trying to make is that a car this old is gonna come with issues if you're gonna be paying so much less than what it was brand new, obviously depreciation and all these things. But for the most part, I love this car. I just wanted to get that out there. Each used 4Runner, or any car for that matter that you guys would buy, will come with its own set of issues. But right now we're gonna just go over the sets of issues that I've encountered on my 4Runner to just give you guys an idea of what you could encounter on one that you guys purchase if you're thinking of buying one right now. And hopefully it's educational. Even if you're not thinking of buying a 4Runner or something, hopefully it helps with your decision to buy any used car in the future. With my particular version of the 4Runner, I got myself one with a salvage title. The salvage title is because of this front bumper damage and this fender damage. You can't really tell like super well from there. I'll have B-roll going. Point is that the bumper damage obviously has caused a little bit of more shaking and rattling while driving and things like that, which I have on my video of my daily driving the 4Runner. So if you guys haven't checked that one out yet, highly recommend it. But yeah, so when we look at this, we can tell that, you know, we have a little bit of issues here, and this is a unique issue to this particular one. But you might be able to find one that's cheap with a salvage title because of body damage and stuff like that. But yeah, some issues that it's caused is just some simple little rattling and some noises that it makes while you're driving. So nothing too crazy. Okay, a big one that I have not yet mentioned is that when I drive this car, the transmission rattles on low gears. And when I get on the freeway, when I put on the gas, it really gets super rattly inside the car, to the point where I look at my rearview mirror and I can't see anything because it's rattling that bad. Could that be dangerous? Probably. Should I get it checked out? Also probably. We have a few ideas of what it is. We have a mechanic in my family, and so we kind of just keep an eye on that. But the odds are that it's probably kind of an expensive fix, so we just kind of have avoided it. But that's another issue that I've encountered with my personal 4Runner. And I've heard that it's actually a fairly common problem on old 4Runners, transmission that is, and I'm not sure if it's the transmission that causes the shaking on the freeway. But yeah, so that's just another thing to look out for on used 4Runners, and that's what it's been on mine. So for now, I haven't really had to pay anything to fix that part of it. I've honestly been pretty fortunate with my ownership of this car. I really haven't had to pay for that many things. The one time I did have to pay for something major, well, kind of major, was $100, and what it was was a tube was loose under the car, and it caused a bunch of evap sensors to come up and stuff, so my check engine light was on. So I just took it, they just resecured the tube, cost me $100, and that was it. That's kind of an unusual little thing, I think, maybe not. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, luckily it was a pretty simple one, but that is another little kind of different thing to look out for if you're buying a used 3rd gen 4Runner. Okay, I've gone over like all of the bad and almost none of the good about driving this car. I did go over the fact that all the electronics work, engine, transmission work fine, although there is a little rattling sound that comes from the transmission and whatever, but it works and it gets me from point A to point B. So those are really good things. Another really good thing about driving a car this old is that I really don't care what I hit when I'm off-roading, or if anything hits my car when I'm driving on the freeway or anything like that. It's a very stress-free driving experience, and I think that's something that no money can buy. Like, if I can get a car this old, I don't care what happens. The insurance is rock bottom low, you know, like if this car dies and everything, and I'm not paying to replace it. I mean, and odds are that something's not gonna happen that's too crazy to this thing, and I only drive it occasionally for fun sometimes, you know. So the thing is, like, the really good part about getting a used car and owning a 3rd gen 4Runner is that you don't have to worry about the things that you would have to worry about if you had a brand new car. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Overall, owning this 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner has been a pleasure. Obviously, I have those complaints that I already mentioned, but those are things that you need to expect when you're buying a used car. And if you're actually thinking of buying a used 3rd gen 4Runner, then make sure that you take those things into consideration. And I highly recommend that if you're gonna go buy one, to go obviously check it out in depth first before you decide to make a deal with somebody on buying one of these. One of the best parts of owning a 4Runner though is that the community for 4Runners is huge. So if you have one and you're watching this video and you've encountered other issues and stuff, please leave a comment about it. Or if you have the same one and you've experienced similar or the same issues, also please leave a comment. And if you're thinking of getting one, leave a comment of what you want to get or whatever. But yeah, this has been pretty much it. So I really would appreciate if you guys would give it a like if you did enjoy watching this video. Obviously comment those things that I just said. And most importantly, please, please, please subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this. Thank you guys for watching.